So today we're going to be having a look at this, the British Army's new Bergen. This is called the VIRTUS Mark 3 90 litre. So one of the first things you see then is all this molly on the front. You've got loads of space for adding extra pouches, things like basher pouches externally, which is very handy to have. It does have this bottom entry. I've never understood this. It's the feature you get on a lot of civilian packs, but it's something I don't think I'll ever use. I don't really see the point in getting your sleeping bag out first. On the bottom then you do have some big drain holes. Now if you get the inside of the Bergen wet, obviously it'll drain out. But the issue for me is if I'm using this for camping, I usually put my sleeping bag in the bottom, just stuff it right in there without no stuff sack. And if I put this down in the wet, some of that moisture can get in there and get into my sleeping kit, which I really don't want that to happen. So I probably will bung these up at some point. It's also all compressible, this Bergen. Compress it along the bottom. You can also compress it on the sides as well. So you can almost make this into a patrol pack. So the side pouches then. The VIRTUS Bergen comes with two options for side pouches. It comes with a 5 litre or a 7.5 litre. And they're very expensive at the moment, about £70 or £80, which is a lot for what they are. So what I've done instead, I modded this to take the old PLCE 10 litre rocket pockets. And it's quite a simple process really. You just have to replace one zip on either side of the pack. And they're obviously bigger, 10 litre instead of the 7.5. So that actually makes the pack 95 litres instead of the 90. So for the hood, what you have is two pockets on the top. You've got one large pocket inside there, and then you've got another one this side, which has like a thermal insulation stuff, which is a good place to put your tech, your power banks, things like that. Keep them warm, because you know what the cold does to depleting batteries. So underneath then you have a pretty standard pocket as well. So looking at the main compartment now, what you have there is a big snow collar. That's about a 10 or 20 litre, I'd say. The main inside there, the main compartment is I believe 65 litres, which is obviously expandable by filling it right to the top of the snow collar. Inside then you can just about see there is an internal frame. It's made out of metal, I'm not sure, sort of like a composite sort of thing, and it is all contoured nicely to fit round your back, as you can perhaps just about see there. So looking at the harness setup on this pack, you've got a good loop at the top for carrying, nice and strong. You can hang that up, things like that. The hood, incidentally, it is expandable quite a bit actually. It's not a fully floating, but it is expandable, which is useful. On the shoulder straps then you do have load lifters, so you can take the pressure off your shoulders quite easily by adjusting all this up. So on the shoulder harness then you do have these Nexus Grim locks, which are kind of like a carabiner. On both sides then you do have 2 row of molly, so you can add something like a radio pouch, things like that on there. Then you do get a sternum strap with this. It's a non-adjustable job, unfortunately, but what you do get is 2 positions. Also handy little thing, you get these little hook and loop velcro sort of things, so you can keep your hydration drinking tube in there, through there. Just keeps it in place, not moving about. The waist belt on this is completely removable. It is fully adjustable. You have adjustment there, you also have adjustment on here, and handily you've got some molly row there actually on the hip belt, so you can put like a drinking bottle pouch or something on either side, which is very handy indeed. So the reason why the hip belt is removable on this pack is because it's been designed to be used over webbing. Those you might know, with the old PLCE you could use it with webbing, but it was really uncomfortable. So with this you can remove that hip belt, which really helps a lot. So obviously this Bergen's been designed around the human body. I think previous versions like the PLCE they didn't really design it to be comfortable, it was designed to do the job. This one is designed to be comfortable and do the job. You can see there you've got some pretty good padding to either side of your spine there, right in the bottom, the small of your back as well. The shoulder straps are nice and wide on this. They're about, I don't know, 3 inches. They're made out of some fairly firm sponge, as is the hip belt. And I've only carried it about half a mile today with less than £20 of kit in it, and I didn't know it was there. But over the coming weeks and months, what I will do is put this on with some decent weight in it, 40 or 50 pound or something, take it out for a long tab. Then I'll perhaps have a go at trying it with webbing as well. By removing the hip belt, it does make carrying with webbing much more comfortable. Now, one thing that you might know about these packs and the VIRTUS soldier system is that they've got this thing called the DWD Exo Spine, which is it's a bit of a gimmick, I think. Really, it was designed with good intentions. Basically what it is a system in which you can adjust the height of the pack on your back. Now it won't work with this hip belt, but what it actually does, it fits in here behind this tab. It's just a sort of box with a tail on it, which would come down into your webbing belt, and then on the sides here somewhere you've got this little velcro piece where you'd have like a thing you press with your thumb. What I'll do, because I'm not very good at explaining that sort of thing, is I'll put a link in the video to show you exactly how that lot worked, and it was usable with most of the VIRTUS kit. So that's the VIRTUS Mark 3. Obviously, being Mark 3, that would suggest you got 2 before it, which is true. The first and second versions, what they were is a front entry type Bergen. It didn't go down well at all with the soldiers. They hated them, and they were buying up the old PLCE Bergens in MTP and using them instead. And the first one was called the GU. It was a really long thing. As I say, it had compartments in little areas accessible by zips along here. Perfect if you're a very organised person, a bit OCD, you like to fold all your kit neatly and put it all in a specific order and things like that. But not so good if you are you need to bug out in all of a hurry and you've got to just stuff everything in quick. That's why I prefer this type, and why I've waited for quite a long time to get one of these. The Mark II version was improved over the first one, the GU, but it was still that front entry system. It didn't go down well at all. So finally they cottoned on, whoever made these, and they designed on with the top entry, which suited everyone better. So if you want to buy one of these Bergens, then complete with side pouches and hip belt, you're probably going to have to pay around £200, something like that. Sometimes you see them a bit less, but often you see them even more. Complete with the DWD system, even more again. I will like to try and get one of those DWDs at some point, as well as a VIRTUS webbing belt, and give that a go. But for the moment I just don't have one of those, and it's not necessary for the Bergen as you've seen it today. Anyway, it just doesn't work with just a hip belt. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Stay tuned if you want to find out my real review on this. It's impossible to tell you exactly how good this is without testing it over a period of months. Different weights, camping, just going for a bit of a tab. So that's what I will do over the coming months. I will put it to the test, let you know. I'm very pleased with it though, on the whole. It's pretty tough. It's made of all the same stuff as the old PLCE, the 1200 denier Kajura. All the zips are good on it, they're all YKK. So I think it will last. It'll stand up to the sort of stick that I put it through, climbing through hedges and bushes and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, it's nice to have a piece of current issue kit as well. As I say, they are quite expensive to buy. This one of mine, I bought it for £40 without the side pouches or the hip belt, and it was also in a pretty poor condition. A lot of it was the webbing straps and the compression straps are all cut, knackered basically, and I've had to spend 2 solid days just sewing and repairing, replacing buckles and all sorts of things. So it's actually ended up costing me probably 150 quid. Also had to source the hip belt. I had to get that from abroad, couldn't find anywhere in the UK selling one of them, so it came from Belgium of all places. But I've got it together now, so it's nice to have. So I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. Only a short one, I know. We'll be getting out and doing a bit more in the coming weeks and months.